Mastercard is rewriting the rule book when it comes to credit cards, announcing a major change this week. By 2030, the company will phase out the traditional 16 digits on the front of the cards, instead opting for a token.
The aim is to better protect customers from cyber scammers, but how will this actually work and what does it mean for how we use our cards? For more, we're joined by Mastercard Australasia Division President Richard Wormwald. Great to have you with us, Richard. So tell us, why are you removing the numbers off the credit cards in the first place?
Yeah, thanks, Shervo. Well, look, we all love shopping online, and through COVID, the terrible lockdowns, we saw lots of new businesses start to trade online for the first time, and that's one of the few places where you still need your 16-digit card number. So we've ended up with our card numbers stored in lots and lots of different places, and that's become a target for cyber criminals and organised crime. They're hacking into these retailers, they're stealing the numbers, and it's in the name organised crime. So they even have paid parental leave, they have HR departments. If the cards you steal don't work, you can get new ones. And so this has become a billion-dollar problem that we have to fix. And one of the ways we're doing that is by changing customer behaviour. So rather than getting out your card and putting in the same fixed number in all these websites, you go to your banking app, you can then spin up a single-use card that you as a consumer can then control. And you might decide that you only want it to be used at that one retailer, or only for the next month, or only for a certain amount of cash to come out of it. So it puts the consumer back in control, but it also means if the number gets stolen, it's much less valuable for the hackers. And that's the balance we're trying to set here, is making sure it's really convenient to shop online, but we make life harder for organised crime to defraud Australians.
Richard, this sounds genius because we are all sick of being hacked. So why will it only be in place in 2030? Can you do it sooner?
Well, what you find with most payment technology is an and, not an or. If you look at your card today, it still has a mag stripe on it from the 1970s. It still has a chip on it for those countries that don't have contactless, like here. And so what we'll be doing, many banks will add the capability to their banking app, but still keep the card number on the card for some time to allow consumers to adjust. And remember, we operate in 220 countries. There's 3 billion Mastercards on the planet. You can use them in 150 million places. And so we want to make sure it's convenient and safe, and trying to get that balance right means we'll be adding this rather than just taking things away.
Just quickly, Richard, it sounds like another layer that we have to go through. Will it be hard to use? I know that I've used a token before where it's a key ring on your keys and you need to look at the number and it's only a certain amount of time. Is it harder to do?
Well, we're also making a number of other changes at the same time. So we're working with our bank partners and retailers to connect them into our network. So in many retailers in Australia, and many already are there today, when you add your items into the basket and you go to the checkout page, your cards will already be there. They'll be pre-filled and they're secured by our encryption technology tokenization. And that links your card number to the device you're on and your biometrics, like a Face ID. And that creates this chain of trust that means it's much harder to steal the number, but it also means you don't have to enter the card numbers in the first place, and it's much faster to check out.
Great.
OK, Richard, I think we're going to be talking a lot about this with you in the coming months, because we want to understand it and we're sick of the hackers. Thank you very much for trying to explain it this morning.